Today, a tour of possibly the biggest pet store in the world. Stay tuned. Welcome back to the channel, Fin Lovers. It's Mr. B. Today we're going to do a walkthrough of That Fish Place, That Pet Place out in Lancaster, Pennsylvania. They've been in business since 1973 and they claim to be the largest pet store in the world. I can't guarantee that claim because I haven't been all over the world, but I will tell you this is certainly a very large pet store. Largest I've ever been in. They've got everything for your fish. They've got everything for your pets that slither, that fly, that have 4 legs, that crawl. Any particular pet that you have, you're going to be able to find something for them in this particular store. It might not be what it used to be in its heyday when it was purely aquatic animals, but it is a fun place to be. And if you're in the area, definitely give yourself the opportunity to just walk through it at least once. There was a fish swap there this weekend. That's what brought me there. It was the Aquatic Club of Lancaster County was putting on a fish swap. Very successful fish swap. So successful, in fact, that I couldn't even get in the room to get pictures. It was so crowded. My friends who were there, who were selling their fish plus my fish, they couldn't move either. It was incredible. They said it was a great day. So if you ever get a chance to go to That Fish Place, That Pet Place during a swap, definitely take the chance. It's going to be a fun time for you. So let's get right to it. Okay, so this is the entrance to the store right here. I always thought walking under this shark was cool. I'm a big shark lover. Jaws is my favorite movie. This little alcove here, there used to be a display for a caiman up here in the alligator crocodile family. It was always cool to see. Over here to the right is the reptile section, but it was so crowded I couldn't get there. The store is as huge as a Walmart, as I said in the intro. They've got sections broken down here. Here's care for your betta. These are tanks over here, complete tank setups. Some more setups over here. A lot of display tanks here have employees' names on it. Ashley did this one. Another really nice display tank here. Some decorations, fake plants, etc. This is the Pirate's Cove. This is the touch tank they have with some stingrays in it. Very cool, usually very populated. We were lucky to get this close to it today. Getting ready to walk into the fish room right now. It's off of the main store. It's kind of fallen on hard times. I'm not sure if it was the pandemic. It seemed to be going down a little bit before the pandemic hit. I think they're concentrating a lot more on the other aspects of pets right now. These tanks have fish in them. Not exactly sure what I think of glowfish. But when I say these tanks have fish in them, a lot of the tanks didn't, or they only had 1 or 2. The glowfish section, since it was right there in front of you, I'm sure they keep that well stocked. But as you go further into the tour, you'll notice tanks are empty. This is in the entrance to the plant room. Nice looking angelfish right there. It's only a small section of bettas. They do have more. Not a big fan of the small cups that bettas are in. My wife and I try to rescue them when we can. The plants are nice in this room. but they do come with a pretty good price tag. On this day, the plants being sold at the swap were probably much better and much cheaper. As we're looking at the plants here, it occurs to me that everyone might not understand what a fish swap is. A fish swap is when a local fish club will hold it. They will invite vendors to come in. Vendors can sell their plants, their fish, their food, whatever aquatic supplies they might be selling. Sometimes you can get somebody to swap something for one of their fish. In one of these events, I did take a carved wooden fish for a small bag of shrimp, but most times you exchange money for the fish from the vendors. So if you do intend on going to a fish swap, it's usually best to bring cash. A lot of vendors aren't set up to take credit cards or Venmo or anything along those lines. We're getting into some tanks that do have fish here. There's the lovely Mrs. B. She did the video work on this one while I was visiting with my friends in the vendor room. As you can see, a lot of these tanks here are empty. She tried to stop whenever she saw a fish. This room back here, that's the filtration room. It's pretty advanced for a fish room of this size. I'm not sure if they still do, but in the past they always had at least one or two marine biologists on staff. So pretty intense with their coverage for the fish. Unfortunately, there just weren't many fish here that day. These are all still freshwater. This is the entrance to the saltwater area. Mrs. B at some point would like me to do a tank that has seahorses in it. So that'll probably be my foray into salt water. I understand it is much more complicated and difficult, and that seahorses are a very, let's just say, touchy breed, that they need very specific care. So I am going to need to do lots of research and get lots of help from you guys to figure out the best way to go about getting Mrs. B a seahorse tank. There always seems to be more fish on the saltwater side, and I'm not sure if that's because they're trying to push more salt water, or if it's because saltwater fish don't sell as quick, so there's always something in the tanks. It's probably the latter. Some of Nemo's relatives there. I think that was a decoration. I don't think that was an actual starfish. I hope you're getting a feel for just how big it is. Here's the packing station. They do fill bags there with pure air, pure oxygen. Here's the frag section, corals. Saltwater has always fascinated me, but I'm still a little intimidated by the setup and the cost. I'm not sure I'll ever get completely into a saltwater tank at all. Mrs. B has found all of the snails. Seem to be more snails than fish in this side of the fish room. These containers here are live rock for the saltwater. Back there, that whole area is for pond fish and pond plants. They'll be setting that up come spring. I'm sure they're getting ready for it as we speak. This is the frozen section. Most pet stores that I've been into have one cooler. They have, I believe it was 8 or 9 doors, mostly fully stocked. Any kind of frozen food you could look for your tropical fish here. They even have the flats over there as opposed to the little cubes. This section over here shows that they have other pets as well. So this is for your four-legged canine friends. They've got foods, they've got treats, they've got toys, they've got leashes, they've got whatever you could possibly need for your four-legged friend. They also adopt cats out. So they have an area solely for felines. Here's the birds. Again, we talked about the reptile section. We did not get a chance to see that, but it is there. Here we are leaving, and I just wanted to show you the full outside of this from Centerville Road in Lancaster, just so you get an image of the enormity of the store. I've said it before, it's quite like a Walmart. It was a beautiful day. Overflow parking definitely needed, especially because of the fish swap. And the nice thing about them is they actually highlighted the fact that there was a swap. Have a great day, fin lovers.